Hey y'all, welcome back to my channel. I'm Krys, and here we talk about business, candle making, and how to boss up. And I know today I look a little rusty and crusty, but it's because I'm getting my whole life together, you know. I have a wholesale order to package. I have a wholesale order to make, wholesale order to make. And wholesale orders aren't something that I advertise on my website because it's not something that I normally do. But this is someone personally that I know and asked me to make these special candles for her. She has a growing podcast that's doing pretty well, and she's also about to launch a book, and so she wanted to use my candles as some gifts. And we did a collaboration this past season, and so she wanted to make smaller versions of the collaboration that we did and put them as gifts. And baby girl is not opposed to a bag, so I'm about to prep and get ready to make these candles. So I thought I would film the process, so let's get into it. Alright, so first things first, I am prepping these jars, setting them out, taking them outside of the boxes so that I have a clean slate and everything is smooth sailing, so that wicking these jars is a lot easier. So now that I put my wicks in my jars, I use an empty pin to put the wick through so that it gives me a little bit more sturdiness, so that when I'm applying the wick, I have something firm and hard to adhere the wick to the jar with. All right, so now that I have wicked up, I am measuring my wax. I am making 20 candles at 4 ounces. So I'm measuring how much wax I need to make sure that I have enough to fill all of these jars. Now that I've got that, I'm prepping my Prestopot. It had been on and warming, so now I'm going to use my Prestopot to melt down all of this wax. This is soy wax 464, and I'm also going to be throwing in some IGI 6006, 10% of that, to help my candles look a little bit more pretty. I've mentioned this in some of my other videos that I hate how soy wax cures. I don't like frosting, and IGI helps me eliminate that frosting. So that's me adding the IGI 6006. The Prestopot was full, so I didn't add it in initially, and let it melt down a little bit so I would have space for it to fit. I'm melting my wax to 170 degrees. And now that it's all melted, I'm just gonna stir it up and make sure that it's good. Everything is all melted before I start pouring it back into my pitcher. All right, so there are a lot of bubbles, so I'm just gonna stir those on out. And because the wax is so hot, it melts the wax inside of the pot. That's my little trick. And so now I'm gonna be adding my wick bars to the jars so that the wicks stay in place. I got these from Candle Science. I'll list them down below. I also use another one from California Candle Supply. They're called cotter pins. I'll list those down below too for you guys. All right, so now that my wicks are barred, I'm gonna be pouring in my fragrance oil. These are my Oya's Daughters candles in my collaboration with Shaping the Shift podcast. So go on and buy them up, y'all, because they smell amazing. I'm not a rose scent person, but honestly, I love this fragrance. And I put 10% fragrance oil. So now that that is in and it's cooled down to about 120, I'm gonna start pouring them in my jars. All right, y'all, so that is the end of the video. I hope this was informative. I hope you guys got a good view on what I was doing, and I hope this helps. So I will see you guys in the next video. Bye. You told me I could trust you.